freaks. All right, so give Anunnaki a break. I guess for now. Not sure if this is going to be a. Who knows? So the Temple of Orion. Interesting that it came up, because I already had like Anunnaki thing set up. Just the thumbnail stuff, and then it's like one of the thumbnail for this is like a version of it, and it's got this Orion temple energy from it. So it's like, okay, that was different. That normally doesn't happen. So, oh boy. So yeah, Orion's played a big role here. Yeah, but they have their elite group here. Just because you have a golden bloodline, open doors for yourself doesn't mean they have a whole lot of talent, but whatever. Yeah. They might be able to move up in the world, sort of, I guess, professionally, but they can also be professionally bankrupt, also soul bankrupt. Without going into too much details of what that means or who it is I'm talking about and so on. So, yeah. It's just that some people here are race, bloodline, just can open, I wouldn't call it, well, it's kind of like an elite bloodline, but not the top elite. So, they can still make things happen, let's put it that way. So, yeah, it's a mixture of that stuff. I'm not going to go into that. It gets muddy. Yeah. So let's see where it comes. Yeah. Well, obviously, they have ownership here. Always influence ownership. Yeah. I feel like it's a garage sale. Well, they feel like they can take whatever they want. It's working out pretty well for them, actually. Also, yeah, those are controlling society. There's so many different ways of looking at it. I'm not going to go into that. It's not worth it. What's the purpose of it? Also, the Terminator energy. So, might not be what you think. I just kind of kept it general in the title of this. But I just got that. So energetically, I've run into this before in the past, and but yeah, some souls here are some that have sold themselves out. You can sell yourself out energetically throughout your incarnation. Well, some might do it, and you become like a hidden, like a torpedo. Or a Terminator, like Terminator 3 had like a female Terminator, and and of course you can have a male, but the female Terminator, charms and all that. Of course you have a male Terminator, but it has to be charming. It has to be, yeah. I don't think they have a movie on it. Let's put it that way. Not charismatic. I don't think so. Not in a male. Of course, the female in the Terminator movie, the third one, was not very charismatic either. But still, a work up towards it. But either way, so yeah. So if you like, you sell your soul out, or those have sold themselves out to the lower dimensions, yeah, they're just here to wreck. There's another term. You can have family members connected to this, friends, and so on. Relationship. But it could be a Terminator being that should sort of wreck your world. To terminate you, basically. So, yeah. I don't think I don't know if I don't think I've ever mentioned that publicly. I've heard about it, but no, I don't think I ever really felt this happened like years ago. Yeah. They're just coming to wreak havoc. And there's like I said, all these different trickster beings all have like how they do things, but Terminator energy is not good. Jeez. But yeah, like I said, Terminator energy can be male or female. Like I said, they don't have a movie on the male or even female. Not really. They might call it succubus or something like incubus, but Terminator energy is just charismatic and just there to just to drill into your frequency and for you to self destruct basically. Yeah, just to cause havoc in your timeline. It's like, oh, look, I just met this person. Everything's not going great. I feel like I'm being energy drained. I feel like I'm being possessed or whatever. Yeah, Terminator. Something to think about. Oh, yes, that's another way of describing. I mean, Archon energy. Yeah. So, yeah, the ones that have sold themselves out here are, I don't know if they can ever. Yeah, they just have, it's kind of like clown beings or, they just like to, just chaos. So, yeah, it's a tough one. It's a tough subject matter. Yeah, it's not pretty. It's connected to alcoholism, drugs, anything that has a vice connected to it. I don't think it's coffee, maybe. I would think it has to be something more hardcore. Yeah, they got like these vices that are like, I'm not gonna go into detail, but just are intense. Like I say, drugs, alcohol, even I don't want to call it human trafficking, but maybe, or just come from abusive. I think, they like to come off as a victim. My favorite, not my favorite, but I hear this often. Oh yeah, the past relationship was toxic and so on. Well, takes one to know one, right? It's like, yeah, you might be complaining about it. Who kept you in that situation for 4 or 5 years? Like, whatever. Say what you gotta say. So, not at least I'm talking more about the toxic beings are like that. They're just like, oh, I'm playing victim, basically, just so they can put their claws into you. Let's look at it that way. That's where I'm going. That's the direction I'm going towards. So yeah, they're just playing a story, just a sob story to get you to feel sorry for them or whatever it is that they want. So I'm talking about comic pro sessions. Schedule a shop here, maybe. So okay. We're going to Temple of Orion, and I'm not sure what that's gonna. It's not really saying anything, really. Yeah. Of course, the Middle East had, very much connected to the Middle East for sure. Of course, connected to the higher elites, underground, whatever. Yeah. Of course, all that. I mean, some of the secret space program stuff. I mean, obviously, just put it for you're just there to screw with people, basically, and it's working. Especially those that get obsessed with the secret space stuff, it's working. They're chaos beings, so might as well. All right, so going to Orion Energies. That's a weird one. So, and then the Terminator. Lovely. So, all right. Okay, here we go. Greens, we have Orions at a higher frequency, higher consciousness. The Orions, the temple, it's kind of like a headquarters. Different types of temples are possible, and there's negative ones. Obviously, the temple of confusion, you can say, for your planet, or Orion temple of confusion. Uh, a temple of many faces to block you from your astral, your path. Mm-hmm. You say as energy assassins, you can say. And Yeah, and they also have their plants here. Their spiritual plants. There's New Age and so on. And yeah, they might say they have all these attacks and all. And some of that might be legit, but also it's there to keep the frequency chaotic. uh, yeah, they're not gonna go into the agents of chaos basically. uh, During Atlantean time, or some of your Atlanteans were Orion beings that gave their power away because they wanted more power. They wanted influence. They wanted, as the Earth was losing its frequency, as your elites, different ways of looking at it, but some just wanted to, like they like this world, but they want to stay at a higher power, but not be seen. And so some of them are connected to the felines, and they become energetically trapped here, though, by doing so. It's meaning that their bloodline is stuck here, and they're kind of stuck here too. But they have a higher advantage, technically, at least on their, as they see it, part of witchcraft and things of that wizardry. But they can't leave here either. Like your Rockefellers and your Rothschilds, they're stuck here. Even their astral is stuck here. So hopefully that makes some of you feel a little bit better. Like you can leave, they can't. Yeah, they might be on an astral level when they exit, but they're still kind of stuck here. And they can bring a lot of frustration, lower their frequency, but still they can still incarnate into a family of power if they want to. They can go to other Orion planets too. They can go to other places that have this type of frequency. So technically, but they're still stuck in this circle. They can't get out. But yes, they have an upper advantage technically, at least they see it that way. But for many of you, it's like that's not the place you want to be. Not really. Well, because they might see things more clearly than you, but once again, they have a handler. And even their minds are causing difficulties to have a handler here. Yeah, there's all these different levels of control here. It goes on and on. Well, it's just something about the physical reality here. It's just because they're so closed off from the astral realms, from spirit, they can do whatever they want. They close the doors to the spirit realm. They literally built a door to shut it off so you can't connect. Obviously, connecting spiritually, you're doing the best you can, but there is blockages here. Done by the Orions, mostly it's Orion connected. You can say it's Martian Orion if you want to go into that. And Martians are just, you can say they're one of the more powerful beings here. Doesn't mean they make any sense. Doesn't mean they're the smartest, but they're effective. And yeah, there's not something I have to go too deeply into. It's not exactly the healthiest frequency. But the Martian energy is very much part of the physical realms. It's chaos. Chaos keeps the physical realm the way it is, at least the version you have it. Now, you can live on a physical reality, but it can be more fourth dimension. You can have more of your telepathic abilities and so on. And society is more at a heightened frequency. But there's still a physicality, but nothing as dense as this. You can still get injured and things like that, but still nothing as dense as this. Just like it's not chaotic. It might have some, but nothing like this. Like it's very low percent. This is like 100%, 150. At 1/100 or 1/100. Yeah, it's like it. As you can see, it goes to every chaotic form it can. Even parts of the spiritual community is looking for secret space, chaos. Can you release the chaos from your frequency? Easier said than done. At least those are connected to like a secret space program or my lab. Now, some of you are, yes, here to take those things down. It's a little bit different. If you're focusing on that, that's different. That's not it controlling you. That's you dismantling it. So it's a different frequency. But there are many here that are under the hypnosis. They can't break themselves out. Well, they can, but they feel like they're doing the right thing, but actually they're trapped mentally. So it's kind of like a mental disorder. It can be like that. And yeah, it's like another part of depression, things like that. Like a multi-dimensional depression, you could say. Right. What's this? Green suit from the higher astral, neutral reality, the Terminator frequencies. Well, if you have a Terminator being, if you sense a Terminator frequency, you get the thoughts that a person's, relative, whoever in your field, and you just get the energy of Terminator. Well, you can say, well, you're, you can, you must be kind of important. Not to put the ego out there, but hopefully don't get sucked into their frequency. Yeah, they could put you in an energy trap for sure. They're there to mess with your mind, basically. Especially on a relationship level, like a romantic relationship energy, they're just to dismantle your world. Like they come here all fluffy and nice, and they just start terminating you, playing with your mind, just saying not tonight or whatever. Just sort of really just like jab the sword into you, basically. Obviously, there's other entities connected to it. You can say an energetic Skynet, but from the lower frequencies. And you can say you're all. Those of you that are not going by the mind control. So, like, you break yourself free of the mind control. Yeah, they send a Terminator after you. And we're not joking about that. And some of you might be married to one, and you can't break out of it. As long as you don't fall for their nonsense, you should be fine. But yeah, those can go on for a lifetime, yes. And you might have a brother or sister, but it's true. When you go through awakening, there are entities sent to you to take you down. You say even before that, but when you are, really coming into your power, it's like red alert. But yes, you can't easily get attacked before that. But like I said, when you go into more of your awakening and you're not quite understanding why horrible people come into your life, well, it's all done by design. It's really just to swallow you up, because then they can take your power. And yeah, it's a war. It's just not. Yeah, there's no TV show of this how this operates here. But they get you to self-terminate or go into alcoholism or something so they can. So even if you're like, you like drink too much, and a lot of these terminators are obsessed with these vices too. Just the dirty one, the hardcore dirtiness. Well, that keeps their frequency low. And also they can find a way to get you to feel sorry for them. It's even better. Yeah, they have some sob story, but they're still playing with you and everyone else. It's all a numbers game for them too. But if they get you to be like an alcoholic or something, you die with that frequency, they can still mess with you. Doesn't mean that they have that means they're possessed, but they can have slight. So yeah, there's just to sabotage your frequency. Now, it doesn't mean that they own you if you have some kind of vice that you exit with, but it's just that they're going to be haunting you for a little while. It all depends on the situation that you're going through. Of course, raising your vibe frequency. See, that's another thing. These beings are trying to trick society into, raise your frequency. You have to keep raising your frequency. That can actually cause a lot of negativity too. Just be yourself, basically. And just keep all this nonsense out of your frequency. That's the biggest thing. Because if you keep raising your frequency, you can actually wear yourself out. Which can cause a lot of negativity. It's like over worrying can cause something from like a Yoda thing. It's like fear can lead into anger and so on. It's kind of like that. So you keep raising your frequency and you're like overly stressing yourself about it. It can cause a lot of negativity. So yeah, it's like a new age trickster frequency. And yes, of course, they do come off as the Terminators. Yes, say they're how positive. They have to say they're positive, and they actually believe it too. But they use those words once again to trick you. And they do think they're good beings, normally. Sort of. They can also lie to themselves too. But they are programmed to come after you. Not that we're trying to help you manifest that, but I'll help you detect it and clear it from your energy field. And cutting people off from your field is very important.